years old, she was working with the EU and making things possible that can make Azerbaijan and Baku better. So yeah, it was I'm more than happy to be here and support her with the program and all the initiatives that she's starting. So since we are waiting for others, it will be nice to know about you guys. You can tell us something about your background so we can know better before the others show up. So you have extra time. Yeah.
So I can start.
Yeah.
So Sameera, I am Nargiz. I'm also from Azerbaijan, but right now I am in Estonia. I'm studying here social entrepreneurship at Tallinn University, and it's at the same time I'm developing my own social enterprise, which is called New Horizons, and it's about empowering girls from rural communities of Azerbaijan. So today it is really very nice to meet you. During the session, I will ask my questions. Thank you.
Hi, Sameera. I'm Shayla. I was on your previous copy session, and we are working together with Sarah on a social business youth center and on Butard and Sweet. So nice to meet you. Thank you for your session. I will be here. I think that it will be so useful because the previous one was really, really so helpful for us. Thank you.
Great. I think we have Nadir, but I don't know if he can hear us.
Nadia, can you hear us? Do you want to introduce yourself?
Nadir.
Okay.
I sent him a message. Let's see. I think it could be that he joined the call and decided to come back when it's the actual time. So it's okay. So how are you, Sarah? Like, how is it now in Azerbaijan? Are you guys in quarantine? What is happening?
Actually, officially, our lockdown time is until 31st May. It's officially. But since the date of 18th May, it was less restricted, so we are allowed to go to public places. Cafes and restaurants, they're working until 6 p.m. So, and also we can go and leave our houses without any sending SMS messages to governmental institutions for getting permissions. So now people are more free to leave their houses, to go to supermarkets. As always, it's very crowded. And unfortunately, one of the main challenges during this lockdown is to control the behaviors of people, especially protecting themselves. In most of the cases, even during this more restricted lockdown, we saw that people don't wear any masks. They are not protecting themselves. So they are not feeling so much responsibility. So that's why now people they heard that they can go to public places and no one is wearing any mask. It's only in governmental institutions and employees they are wearing some mask in order to protect themselves. Yeah, you will see. I hope you will come to Azerbaijan and you will see how people have different kinds of behaviors. It's completely different. You know, sometimes you cannot even imagine that you're from the same country. As you mentioned before in conversation, that people from different communities can have different behaviors. So it was also visible during lockdown. How is it in Spain?
Oh, pretty much similar. I think people from everywhere, we think we have a lot of differences, but in many situations, I think we behave the same way. For example, in small parks, the government has taken a lot of steps to put, these kind of tape which has red and white lines around the public equipment, swings, and benches. But people start to cut them and then sit there, and it's like it doesn't matter if you're from EU or US, anywhere. I think a lot of people are frustrated right now, and they just want to be outside and do social things. So I think it will be a challenge for us as the next generation to make the city better for these situations. For example, like we can have bigger public spaces and we don't have to go into quarantine. We just have to be far away from each other. Now, the problem is the public space is not so big enough for everybody to be outside and make it a safe distance. So I think that's more important. Instead of saying all the people stay home, you can say just stay away from each other. And now all the kids want the same swing, so it's not possible. So yeah, I think it's about how we can design it better. So I think a lot of opportunities will come out of this kind of situation for all countries. Like a lot of legislation is being changed in EU around streets being converted to public space. So that's a very, very good response from the government. So I think it will only get better from my perspective. There are a lot of people who think the economic crash will be bad, but I think it will make people more human from my side, which is good for all of us because everybody here is trying to do something that is in that direction. So maybe Nar Narcis is your name? Nargis?
Not
Nargis, right, right.
okay, okay.
Okay, perfect. Nargis. We have a very popular movie actress named Nargis
Yes, I know.
from
My mom, she was a big fan of Indian movies.
Oh,
And yeah, she always used to tell me that like your name is one of the famous Indian actress name,
yeah.
Nargis. Yeah.
She was like the dream girl for all our parents. Like you know, you have these kind of Tom Cruise image of a person, and she was this person in the female category for my parents. So yeah, this is when I think print or posters were even possible. So she was like probably the first one to be
Yeah.
like, yeah. So that's very good. So what is your startup doing right now? What do you
Mhm.
want to do with it?
So mainly right now, I am focused on developing a curriculum. Because what I have noticed that so maybe you have also the same issue in India. Uh, Also, you are in Spain, but I understood that. Yeah, okay. So in Azerbaijan, especially in rural areas or suburbs which are around the Baku, in those places when the girls get to their 7, 8 grades, especially during that time, they are starting to lose their motivation. They are starting not to get enough financial and moral support from their families, and they are at the end just quit school, stop going school and staying home, and after this staying home ending with early marriage. So this is a problem, and for that I'm developing a girl empowerment program. As I mentioned before, I call it New Horizons because I hope that I believe actually with power of education we can open new horizons for them. And this program is mainly about self-awareness, leadership, your entrepreneurship, but in very basic level, and also teaching English. Because in Azerbaijan, still, not only I would say people who are living in rural areas, even people who are living in the city centers, they are still struggling learning English. But their struggle actually are different. The ones who are living in the villages, for example, even they are passionate about learning new language and culture, but they don't have enough resource, book, teacher, or any language center. So that's why I also added English language curriculum into the program as well. So unfortunately, I'm right now alone in this journey, and curriculum development is something, how to say, it's not actually my how to say something, I don't have any background about it, but what I know is design thinking, and this how to say method really helps me during the process. So I'm developing 3 days online workshops, delivering it to my target group through Zoom, and then collecting feedback and again improving it. So far I just only could do only one, and in June I'm going to do the second session. In the first session, I talked to them about SMART goals, leadership, and entrepreneurship. I created some awareness in them. And the second part is going to be take action. I want like how to say, to show them some tips, some like ways how, like it's like some of them say that I want to become a pilot in the future, but she says that I see like, but from her eyes she cannot believe that one day it really can come true. And for that, like how to say, you don't have to wait something special, magic will happen and we will be so someone needs to like guide her during this journey. So this is like mainly I'm doing right now, and I'm a little bit also concerned. I have some. I was before starting the meeting with Sarah. We were just discussing about the business plan. As it is social enterprise, for me, sustainability is important. Um, I want to start first with applying to funds, getting some funds from government or from some organization, from some international organizations. But later on, I am thinking to use fee for service business model, which is I want to design workshops, or it can be also some summer or winter schools, let's call about entrepreneurship, and deliver this program to private schools in Azerbaijan, not government, because as Sarah knows, in government sector in Azerbaijan, things are really very complicated, and it will like maybe I will retire if I get there. Yes. that's why that's why I want to provide this program to those schools, and the revenue I will generate from there, I want to use half of it for empowering these school girls from rural communities. So this is from my side. I know it's a little bit maybe sounds complex because the problem itself is so complex. So if you have any question.
Definitely. I think it's a great initiative. And as you mentioned, it's not something that's a problem in just Azerbaijan. As of now, I know that this is a very, very big problem in a lot of Indian subcontinent, which is
Yeah.
Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Myanmar. It includes a lot of countries which fall into this group. And I mentioned these because they have the highest density of
Yes.
people. China has gone surprisingly way ahead in preventing female school dropouts, but
Mhm.
not in the Indian subcontinent.
Mhm.
Probably we find this similar in the Middle Eastern area as well, because I think it's a lot of societal mindset impositions that happen upon women, because like you said, they want to become something but they haven't seen anyone they know become that. They didn't have their mother become that, or they don't know a girl from their town who ran away to Baku and became a pilot, or they don't know those stories. So the main question is exposure and getting the fear that they have away from them. So which means we need to first know what fears they have as girls when they actually choose to drop out. Is it from family? Is it from society? Or is the school actually expensive for the family that they say, oh, okay, one girl, you don't go, but the boy goes. So what happens when you do that? So I think we need to kind of make like a proper Excel of reasons which are quantifiable. When I say quantifiable reasons, they're like materialistic things. Does these communities have schools, capacity for women? Do they have schools which take women post eighth grade? Are the universities or counseling available for them to say, I'm going to go to this city and do my exam?
That's, you are really very right. Having lack of schools is also one of the problem. For example, in some communities, in order to continue their education after ninth grade, they have to like travel far to another village, and because of the safety issues, parents are like, it's better just to stay home. Yeah. So this is
So
you are reading my heart.
no, this is very reasonable questions, because when you say I as Nargis will think my life is this girl's life, and the best way for you to imagine it is put yourself in a village where probably the next school is 10 kilometers away and say, hey, how will I make it there? So then you feel pain and anger, and then you will empathize with her and come up with kind of solutions. So I recommend you to kind of put two groups. One is quantifiable factors, which
Mm-hmm.
is money, school, is it there? Is the education provided correct? Are the teachers good? Are the teachers not
Mm-hmm.
motivating them enough, or do they not have information for inspiration? These are
Mm-hmm.
quantity, like something you can say. Oh, if I give them $100, we will solve the problem. If we
Yeah.
lobby the governments to open a school, more high school, just maybe female schools, it's not
Mm-hmm.
co-education. So maybe that can solve it. And then there's all the qualitative, which is the girl scared? Is her mother scared? Is the family pressuring her to get married? All of those are like, you can't quantify them. You can't say, "Oh, I'll give $500 to the father and he will allow her." No, you
Yeah.
can't do that. So in this issue, you have qualitative and quantitative both. So in qualitative, I see the biggest problem. For example, in your social business, because for quantitative, you can pair with, let's say, Ashoka Foundation, any other foundations, and get the finances, hire an extra teacher, or do like weekend workshops, or come up with different ways to sharing this information for them, for these girls, or maybe setting up a girls' hostel in the in the
Mm-hmm.
in the school which has a program, and telling, hey, you can apply for scholarship and you can get to stay here free and safe. You can do all of those with money. The problem with qualitative fear is you need to do a lot of educational, um, emotional learning to parents and society,
Yeah.
which is your biggest challenge, I would say. And that comes with all these communities believing you as Nargis, who started this program, and saying, oh, Nargis says my daughter should go to school, then Nargis, my daughter will become like Nargis. This is kind of the emotional image you need to convey to the parents, let's say, because for them, they don't know another girl who went to Estonia and did that, who's from Azerbaijan. So, like, I
Mm-hmm.
think your approach should be not like you should do this, but you should sympathize with the mom or the parents and be like, I did this, and and and I have freedom. Like you
Yeah.
can say, I have freedom not to be scared of maybe the the husband I will have, or society, or I can choose to take a taxi and leave a complicated situation. I have money for that. So I think making yourself an example for them will really help you. Or Sarah, or making, let's say, Wikipedia pages for women from Azerbaijan who are actually motivational, because everybody usually knows Wikipedia. And if you have
Mm-hmm.
more women profiles for Wikipedia in Azerbaijan, then you can just say, hey, look at all these women, and they're from your village or the village close by. And I think that can help you. It will not solve everything, but these are some things that you can try, probably. But having the knowledge of your problems is more important, I would say. Like saying,
Mm-hmm.
okay, these are ABC in this group, ABC is something else.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you should make a list of that, and
Okay.
then you will know in that list whom to ask for which one.
Mm-hmm.
You can say money, oh, European Union. Or money, okay, these 10 organizations can give me $100, $10, any amount, but you know whom to ask. And
Mm-hmm.
there is, if you want, I can introduce you to Spark.
Mm-hmm.
There, I will write it in the chat.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Spark. It's a women initiative,
Mm-hmm.
and they kind of do similar stuff, what you mentioned.
Okay. I will check them.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, they are women-led initiative, and they do similar issues like what you mentioned. They not only cover these issues, but what they do is they make special programs to make women entrepreneurs. They make special
Mhm.
programs for I don't know, finding funding for a girl to study if she cannot study. So they know more about this issue, like for example, how to get a girl into a school where the parents don't approve the uniform. It's a
Uh-huh.
very specific problem, but they have already solved that.
Mhm.
So I would tell you to surround yourself with people who know these problems. So as soon as you say, hey, the family is not allowing her to go 5 kilometers to go to the school, what should I do? If somebody says, oh, we had that problem, then that's the room you should be in. So,
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah.
Thank
I
you
know
so
it's,
much, Samira. It was really very like useful to know. Yeah, it gave me some like a picture already about my next direction. Thank you.
I know it's a lot of information right now, but these are the difficult stuff that if you do it right now, you will be able to make it more easy in the coming days. For example, when you go to a foundation and they ask you, hey, Nargis, what are the 5 biggest problems for you?
Mhm.
And most often, when big foundations ask you, what are your 5 biggest problems? It's always good to say qualitative problems than quantitative. Because if you say, I need money, they'll be like, everybody needs money. Instead of that,
Mhm.
if you say qualitative problems, which are like, oh, my biggest fear is how to convince a mother who didn't go to school to send her daughter
Yeah.
to school, then they
Yeah.
will say, oh my God, Nargis actually did a lot of research to find she has the right
Mhm.
questions.
Mhm.
So you
Mhm.
will look more interesting to the funding organizations.
Okay.
So that's why I say do the groundwork for you to be able to do these things. And when you do write down all of this, you will find each search that you do, you'll find somebody who has dealt with that, and you can ask them for support. That's one more thing that's good about social entrepreneurship is it's not like, hey, I am starting a new brand for Coca-Cola competition. Coca-Cola will not talk to them. But when you are starting a women empowerment to prevent school dropout of female high schoolers, a lot of people are willing to help you who do the same thing. Probably they do it in Myanmar, but they will help you for Azerbaijan. So
Mhm.
that's the good part about our network. And I think you should overuse it. Yeah. So I'm going to
Okay.
send you, if you share your email, I'm going to send you some links to, let's say, start your search.
I will write also here my email if it is needed. Just my apologizes. By Estonian time at 4 o'clock, I have a meeting.
No,
If
don't.
I leave, I really don't want to leave actually. Like, um, today, Sarah knew that I got confused this timing, and um,
don't, don't
I
worry, go
will
ahead.
I will
Yeah,
see. So how long you are going to be here? Maybe
I
I
think we do, Sarah, if I'm not wrong, 30 more minutes, right?
Yes, yes, we will be 30 more minutes
30 more
together.
minutes. I will do my best to be back, or if I cannot be back, but it was still like really nice to see you
Yeah,
today,
yeah,
to have you today.
of course. Take care.
Okay, then, Samira, I'm really sorry for that. So I shared my email here with you. I will check Spark. And by the way, I'm also going to develop questionnaire in June. And the things you already mentioned, I'm going to consider them in my questions. And in the future, during the process, if I have any question, can I contact you about
Sure.
it? Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
definitely. I will send you an email. In that way, you will have my contact, and we will definitely be there for you. And if you need any support or kind of questions, like you said, you can always write me there. So it's
Thank you
not a
so
problem.
much. Thank you so much. Okay, then girls, it's almost like a few minutes left, and I'm switching to another meeting. John, Sarah, John.
Thank you.
I hope I will see you again.
Yeah.
Have a nice day. See you. Bye.
See you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. I think we have a new person.
Yes.
Zivar.
Mm-hmm. Zivar, are you here? Okay.
Maybe he's. Wait, okay. So apart from all this, how are you, Sarah? Like with
We are
the
actually organizing different online sessions on topics of inclusivity because when we founded this platform for women with special needs, we saw that there's a huge gap, as you mentioned. I hope I could get your mentorship just 3 years ago about this particular topic because I came to everything that you have told me is after some years of operations, just based on mistakes and challenges, I saw that I missed one of the most important points in my whole operations. It was all about raising awareness about problems, about breaking the stereotypes in the community. So it was also impacting on sales of our products, which made by our women. So we decided to start in this quarantine time to focus on emotional intelligence of our women and also at the same time to educate and enlighten local communities about topics of inclusivity. So we
okay.
started to organize talks about Down syndrome, autism syndrome, about right communication methods with people with different abilities, how we should call them in a right way, how we should communicate with them, how to find right methodology in working process, how also we made this for our parents who could be our potential clients that who these parents they can have children with autism syndrome, with Down syndrome, with other special needs. So it was also very important for us to organize the sessions together.
Mhm.
And we saw a lot of we saw we received a lot of messages, and I couldn't even expect that it will be so useful. It will be so impactful for those parents because they just imagine they have a child with Down syndrome, and for 10 years they bought some medicaments, some medicine to just solve this disease. They thought that Down syndrome can be solved with some medicine, and they have been wrongly informed by the local doctors. So after our session, this time they just told us that thank you very much for the session. I now understand how I should approach my child in the right way. So it's very unique experience. Just
Yeah.
imagine, and as you mentioned in our call when we have been talking about these couple sessions, we are more focusing on impact in a quality rather than in quantity. So we don't even care about the numbers of people we are impacting. We are taking care about those real impact in their family, real stories, real touchable emotions of these people. And this quarantine brought me so many positive emotions. Of course,
Yeah.
we had a lot of crisis situations, but I'm really grateful for this moment that we changed our mindset towards our people, and it was really good. And as you mentioned now, tonight, it was so connected to me, to our story. So I was just supporting everything that you have told. It was great also to hear that again from you.
Yeah, thank you. But like, thank you for the work because, like you said, it's not always the number. Usually, people try to put like our impact at 5 million people, but in what way? For example, One Young World, the conference that they do, they say impact number million people, and I'm like, how are you claiming that? Because, like you said, the two parents of this child now now it has changed their life in the real sense that everyday activities with the child are better.
Yeah.
So that is, I think, very, very true in the sense of impact. I think we have to talk to, I don't know, Marcella or someone to come up with a new word for these kind of impact values, because there's no way we can talk about them other than, hey, it was a direct impact, it was a high impact, but but we are unable to communicate the essence of that depth that you said. So I think we have to do something. Maybe we can ask the Unison Youth Fellows or something, like if others had the same problem of saying, hey, we really had impact, not just like so how do we talk about that? And maybe we will come up with something that can be more better in terms of measuring and stuff. But I understand all this, but how are you maintaining the sweet shop right now? It must be hard.
Yes, because our main business model was consisting of creating or delivering catering services for events of big companies, and as events they have been cancelled during this lockdown. We just changed our business model from B2B to B2C. We organized and created new vegan menus for new customer segments. And it was also very important for us to show this impact not only in terms of people, but also through our products. So we wanted to deliver the sweets from pure vegan products. We also have been showing this message about protecting our environment. And I think that would be much more impactful in terms of also B2B partnerships in the future when we will showcase that, for example, we don't have some sandwiches with meat products or milk products. We have some other products which can be very easily substituted, which can have equal taste, and you will enjoy it in an equal way, but they will have completely different stories. So I'm sure that we will make some revolution of our local market, and we are making in different way. And I'm very proud of social entrepreneurship field just because it gives an opportunity to impact very little with very little steps, but on long-term process. Because when you are creating this product for companies, okay, one day they will not accept it. The second day they will not accept it. Third day they will buy it from other companies. The fourth day maybe they will complain about us. But for the next years, for the next months, for the next week, they will understand that this is the only solution for sustainable planet. This is the only solution for happy life for everyone. So it's not even necessary to, I don't know, kill some animals in order to have an enjoyable food for yourself. So we understood it during lockdown, and we understood that also crisis is a great opportunity to change your mindset, not only to your business but also to your environment, and also to change the quality of your impact. So for now, we are not only focusing on people, but we are also focusing on creating that's also about enjoyable. So we are pretty proud of everything we achieved, and a lot of things will happen, or challenges will happen. But yeah, as you mentioned, it's so important to go in deep into your problem, to ask why, because the question why is minimum 5 times when you're starting something. Because in most of cases, people will start some initiative just because it's got trendy, because someone is doing that. They are not even taking care about the problem so deeply. So that also was the great basis for creating this competition, because a lot of young people they have been approaching me that we want to start something. That's great that we want to start an initiative. The first starting something should always answer this question why we want to do, because a lot of challenges will happen, mistakes, a lot of
Yeah.
obstacles will be in your journey. So you should understand that this is your mission, and this mission will help you
This is very kind of true in the sense that it can be implemented not only there but in many places, because it's if you when you look at it from a bigger picture, it's the same problem. So yeah, I think you should put it online. Yeah, I think so. And yeah, is there I have another question for your business model. Are there any of the sweets which don't have, in the sense, like a syrup or something which can be exported internationally?
That's one of the main problems uh, in terms of legislation of our country. That especially food products, even prepared by the biggest companies always in our country, they have a lot of challenges in being exported to different countries, especially to EU countries, because EU has a lot of licenses, a lot of requires for documentation, and just in most of the cases, these products are prepared in houses of those women because we want to mainly support like micro entrepreneurship among those women. So for now, it's almost impossible to export to other countries. But what we are doing, we are cooperating with different NGOs, different youth organizations, which send students, young people for different exchange programs, and they're always ordering the sweets from us. They want to support our women, and they are just like going to these countries for different projects, and they're just showing the sweets during this event, during cultural night, and that's the only way for now just to showcase our products in other countries. We have been applying for different local governmental institutions with the opportunity to be represented at international fairs and under the brand of Made in Azerbaijan. But they just told us that it's not in their capacity to organize these conditions for us because, for example, if this fair is organized in Russia requires some documents to be organized in another country. Yeah, because it's food product. If it would be some other handmade product, it would be very easy. But it's just because of food, and European Western countries, they are very strict about food products, about certification documentation. So for now, it's challenging. I wouldn't say that it's impossible. I think everything can be possible, but it's
Yeah.
challenging. But we are using other methods to like sell these products. There have been a lot of our customers from different countries, and it was always very nice to experience this feedback. Especially, one of the biggest challenge, and I'm sure that you could also experience that in your journey. When you create some social enterprise in your country, uh, some guests from other countries, foreigners, other countries, international partners, they appreciate your work much more. So it's a local community, and it was also the same for us.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Because I think it's when you when you see your own food, you're not thankful for it. For example, a lot of people say, "Hey, Indian food is so nice," but I can make it. I can I can tell which one is good, which one is not. So for me, it's like, hey, that's nothing. I can make that. So in that sense, I think a lot of local people see this and be like, hey, I can do that. I can make that. But they don't understand that this is actually changing the economics of these women. It's not about you being able to make that sweet in your house and eating it, but it's about like some woman having money from her hobby, and then that woman being able to send her children to school or have independence maybe from her husband she's scared of, or standing up and saying, hey, you are bad to me, I will leave you and I will pay my own rent. You are not. It That's the thing that people usually forget to see. And when outsiders see that, they see, oh, this is not just sweets, this is independence. You're what Sarah you're doing to these women are giving freedom. So I think this is message somehow is missing in countries like India and these places, because for you as well, like I think people need to see beyond the face of it. And yeah, I think it's also based on the schooling that we had, how to see. And I hope this will change because of us to other kids, like, hey, I don't have to become an engineer or a doctor, I can become this, and make it much better for my whole neighborhood. So yeah, I think it will become popular, and soon you will feel and have this feedback from your community as well. And yeah, that will be very good. But you have good support from the ministry, right? From your local ministry?
You know, in most of cases in our country, ministries they only support, by some partnerships during events. They support by showcasing their stories to local community stories about maybe support. It's also very important, of course, for social entrepreneurship. But when you are directly applying for some support in terms of certifications, in terms of some instruments which would definitely prosper our business, which would develop our business, they are out of it. So they are just giving some excuses that we are not able to support you in this way. We can only support you in this way. So we are agree for the support. Of course, we are seeing the support. But from in most of cases, why they cannot support social enterprises is just firstly because social entrepreneurship is not showcased in our legislation, so we don't have such concept of social entrepreneurship. And the second is that until now they have some challenges with the mindset to understand social entrepreneurship. They cannot understand until now how the business model can be in harmony with social impact, sustainability.
Yeah.
So it was, yeah, it's very hard until now to educate the people, not only your local community, but also people who are policymakers, who are decision makers, the game change makers. So, it's very challenging moment, but I love this moment because I
Yeah.
understand that it's challenging for now, but for the next generation who will start this journey, it will be much more easier. We are just like, as locomotive of this strategy, and like we are taking full responsibility on our shoulders, and we are taking that with ourselves,
Yeah.
and I'm sure that it was also the same about your field when you are bringing some innovation in your community. It's the most challenging moment of social entrepreneurship is changing the mindset of local people, and at the same time, this is the most rewarding part because um, that by changing this mindset, you are changing the life and it's changing forever. It's not all about, as you mentioned, organizing a one-time seminar for 5 million people and showcasing that this is the real impact. This is maybe this person it even didn't appear for the seminar. Uh, it can appear physically, but not mentally, not psychologically. He's not even in this seminar. He's not even listening to the trainer. But it showcases that it's impacting on this person as well, just because it's
Yeah.
very good in numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why when always I'm getting this question from different audience, why we are not increasing the number of women in our team, I'm always answering that because the number of women in our team is not important for us. For us, it's important how much they're earning, to be free from their family members, to have some income for their family members. It's much more important for us. If, for example, the sales during the month they are not enough, why I should hire 100 women? If I know that this volume of sales during this month will not be enough for income of the women. It will be good for showcasing that we are helping 100 women, but inside, what I will feel this, strange feelings that I'm not supporting enough. I'm just showcasing. I'm just showing up that I'm just showing up the numbers, but they're not real. This is not real impact. That would be much more better to say that I'm impacting 5 women, but this is the real impact rather than just to tell that I'm impacting 100 students who are not able to earn some money during summers. So that was
Exactly.
the constant message I was delivering to our local audiences who have been only interested in numbers. And I think that's also very positive moment for social entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Yeah, and yeah, it's we are in a really, really good moment, I think. And for people like you and me, it's only fun, I think, sometimes when it's so challenging.
Yeah.
And and then I feel like if it becomes easy, I will find something else to do. I will go look for more challenge. So I think we have to be very thankful for like being here, because when I look at like RBG, she's like an American policymaker. She made
Mm-hmm.
women rights possible.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I look at her, I'm like, oh my God, I wish I was born at that time to, to do what she did, because it's so cool. And like, I feel the same way right now. So yeah, I think when we grow up 20, 30 years later, we will feel that about us. So I feel really excited to do this every day. And I understand you completely about the income from the Swedes and the
Yeah.
system. It is difficult, but I think I would rather have less money than work for a big company and just do this as volunteering, because I know I won't be happy in that big company. So I will find a volunteering job, and then my main life will be serving a company I don't like, and then to make myself feel better, I will be volunteering, just just so I can have few more dollars. Is not does not sound good. So I think it's good that this we are starting this trend. And yeah, I'm more than happy to if you want, apply some applications together with your organization. If you feel like as an EU registered company, maybe we can apply for some competition. If you see
Mm-hmm.
something like that, I am more than happy to partner with you, just to help you do the application, to do any of that, because we do a lot of similarities. Now you're doing workshops, you're doing kind of training. So we can provide all of that and do a partnership. So feel free to ask me if you want to do an European Union Azerbaijan application and
Yeah,
you
that's
find
good.
something.
Definitely. And also, Samir, it's very interesting for me to know. So, how started your journey in Spain? So, you came to Spain for education, then you founded your startup company here, or how it was happening? Because you are completely in different country, you are starting something in a different
Yeah.
country. Very interesting to know.
So when I first came to Spain to do an internship in my undergraduate studies, so it was not even in my master's. So at that time, it was like to get my undergraduate degree, I need to do a thesis. So I did that in Spain with one company. And that company at the time was in crisis. So they didn't pay me or anything like that, but I just did. Um, yes, I can talk. Oh, wait.
We have to that.
Uh, please unmute your mic. Zivar, can you hear us?
We want to hear you.
Okay.
Hello. I'm so sorry for my internet connection is very slowly.
No.
No, we absolutely understand, because I think it's the similar in many parts of the world because of quarantine. A lot of people are online, so don't apologize.
So bad. Yes, I know. Okay, my name is Zver. Our social business ideas about children with autism spectrum disorder, and we purpose our purpose with me and my partner, business partner Sarah, is improve the social ability children with autism spectrum disorder, and we try to, yes, I said that improve their social ability
and with game therapy, and so.
By the way,
Wow.
Ziver is one of our mentors of our mentorship program. They have an idea to create special platform and also in the future if they will have the resources to open an entertainment center for children with autism syndrome because we don't have such kind of places for development of these children. So I love this idea so much. They have been participants in social business school in our country and they won the grant with this idea. It was funded by UK Embassy. It was such an amazing idea. We decided just to support the team, this mentorship program, and I'm very happy to see you here, Zivad. Thank you very much for joining. And
Thanks very much.
if you have any questions about how to start, how to make some research, how to like write a business plan, if you have some questions about your social entrepreneurship journey, you are free to ask them to our dear host, Sameera.
Yeah.
Yes, I got very valuable information in this meeting, and my question is about these children, because I don't have so much experience in this field, and um, I want to I can communication with um, teacher in this field or specialists for to get information about the spectrum, and what is most effective way for improve, say, social ability and so on.
Yeah. First, Zivar, thank you for your work. It's really, really important and very, very good work. And I can see the way you explain the project. You have a lot of passion for it, which is very important. And yeah, it's an amazing idea. We actually worked with a group who works with autistic kids. You're they are based in Los Angeles, and they're a really good group because the group is made of one family which has an autistic kid, and the father started it, and he combined it with an MBA student to be able to make it a good business model and to be able to grow bigger. So they are, I think their name is Spectrum because they deal with people and kids from different range, because autism is not one thing. It's like a huge
Yes, yes.
yeah, it's a huge range, and it involves people with different ranges, for example. So they have a lot of experience because I think they've already been in the industry for 5 years or something. And what they're specifically doing is getting jobs to teenagers who have been recognized in the spectrum. So they are not only normalizing the idea that, hey, someone in the spectrum can have a normal life, can be with, can do everything that everybody does. They're teaching them a way to do that, and also getting them into workspaces. So, for example, they collaborate with like HP and then get coding jobs for someone in the spectrum. Because one of the abilities of few people in a certain spectrum within the autism is that they have very high focus. And that means they are very good mathematically in coding languages, different kinds of coding computer languages. So a lot of companies really like incorporating autistic people because they're very focused, they don't get disturbed, and they really like to be left alone and work on their own. So you have a lot of productivity. So it's a win-win for both parties. In that way, I can introduce you to that group. And another thing is we try to do like an artistic game. We wanted to make like a big installation, but each kid or each person makes one part of it. So it was supposed to be like a tube, and they can paint on it or stick something on it, but each person makes one part of it, and then all of it is put into a bigger piece to show the beauty of unity. We wanted to do that so people who see it get aware more about the spectrum and the abilities in the spectrum that people have. So it was like telling them, hey, these are just normal people and they can do more beautiful things than we can do actually sometimes. So we were thinking of doing that. So those are my two contacts for you. And what I recommend you is to look into IDEO. I will, if you share me your email, I can send you in the chat. I can send you all this information.
Yes.
It's a very, very good design group, and they have a free PDF which you can download, and it's like a game which will help your team make make more analysis about what you need to learn, because now you need to learn about a new problem which you do not have, your family members do not have, and it's someone else's new problem. So it's very hard to understand what a person
Yeah.
in this can feel. Like you don't know why autistic kids might get angry because you don't have a brother or you don't have anybody close to you. You haven't seen that happen. A lot of autistic startups have one thing in commonality is that their parents or their kids or someone is autistic and they decided to do something about it. For you, the best thing is to get as close as possible to those startups and tell them, hey, I want to do this in my country, but I don't have autism. My family members don't have autism. Can I learn from you? I think that's the best way you can try to learn as much as possible. And they will be more than happy to support you because they understand the pain of it more deeply. So I will definitely make an introduction for you with with that company. And I think they can give you a lot of documents and materials as well for you to
Yes.
learn more. And you said you won the competition from the American Embassy.
It was from social business school. They basically trained about social entrepreneurship, and then as a team member, they have been teaching the ideas after the training. And Sibel and her partner, they became the winners of grant. It was a small grant for this idea, and this project was fully funded by UK Embassy, and
UK. Okay.
it was a great experience for all of us, and we have been proud to vote this idea. And also, Zibar, can you write your email in chat so
Yes.
Sameera?
Yes. Yes. Yes. I write.
Okay. Okay, so I think that will be very helpful for you because first thing you need to do is understand the pain or the problems that that these people in the spectrum have, and then I think you will be really able to say, "This is what I'm going to do." Because still now, there is a lot of things you can do for them. You can normalize the society's opinion of them. You can make them socially visible. You can advocate for their rights. You can get them jobs. There's a lot of things that you could do, but it's huge. It's a lot of work in the start. So for you to understand, okay, I'm going to start with this and then slowly go into the other sectors is very, very good because maybe 2 years later you can say, hey, I'm working on autism. We have been doing advocacy and social normalization of the spectrum for 2 years, and now we want to get them jobs. So that's something that can be like your vision statement. So yeah, I think you need to know more about where you want to go first. Do you have an idea what you want to do 3 years from now?
Not now. nearly 3 or 4 years. We'll at that time we try about this idea.
My question was, what do you want to do 3 years in the future?
Which
In the future,
yeah, in
yeah.
which goal?
I can hear
Which
your
goal?
voice.
What are your goals in 3 years? What do you want to do in 3 years from your idea?
Yes, yes. Our main goal is to improve the social ability in this. Uh, my purpose is not to be specialist or to be teacher. My purpose is to collect children with ACD, autism spectrum disorder, and play games, to create theaters, social theaters with children. That's all.
Okay. Okay. So if I understand you correctly, you want to make something that's a fun experience for kids with autism.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Did you talk to anybody's parents or kids who have autism already?
Yes, yes. Nearly 3 years, I'm teaching uh, a girl with autism spectrum disorder, and I love her, and my idea is coming her, and I want to improve there. I want to be. I want to say she's named Farida, and I want to Farida improve in the society, and I want to she get a friend and other um, school to go school and so on. That's so emotional for me, and I can't say my emotions about Farida.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah. I can understand you. It's amazing. It's really amazing what you're doing. Um, so I think I can connect you to this group, and it can help you quite a bit because they're doing something similar to you. And so you said you have one student or more now?
only one.
Okay. And what is your plan? Do you want to have 10, 5? What is the scale you want to be at?
Uh, Actually, I want to find another teacher for Farida, and in other case, I want to improve their social ability only. And teaching process is for as a teacher.
Okay. Okay. Could you I'm going to put my email here.
Yes, yes. I wrote my email in chat section. Thanks for much. I'm so glad for valuable information about that.
Um, I feel maybe you're having difficulty hearing us, so I wrote in the chat. If you can send me some information, like one paragraph about what you
Yes, yes.
do, then I can make the connection to the other startup, and
Yes,
and then
I can send information about business idea, but now my connection is very slow. Can I send your email address?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Thanks very much.
thanks to you.
yeah, of course, yeah.
And also, Samira, there has been a question from Sheila. Just because of internet problems, she cannot phrase this question herself. She just wrote me into chat that sometimes when we are working with people from underprivileged communities, they can be migrants, they can be refugees, they can be people with special needs. We have some strange feelings. They are like condolences, negative condolences, because they are from underprivileged communities. Especially for people who has zero experience of working, zero previous experience of working with those people. How they can overcome these feelings inside of themselves in order to work with those people in an effective way. Because there has been a very important question also from our mentees as they are starting this social entrepreneurship journey for the first time. They have this idea. They didn't have an experience of communicating with those people. And they have these condolences because there are people from underprivileged families and communities. And how can we overcome these barriers, the condolences inside of us, and accept those people as normal people in order to work with them like in an effective way?
Yeah, it's a very fair question, and I think it's happening in many places. It can be immigrants, it can be refugees, it can be, let's say, second generation, first generation immigrants. The thing is not for you to realize. Sometimes I think we all do this. Even when our friends say, "Hey, I am sick," we say, "Oh, sorry," but we have to go a bit deeper. You know, there is sympathy, and then there's empathy. I think we need to see the difference between both of them. When you sympathize with them, you say, "Oh, I'm sorry, you will be okay." We don't know if they will be okay. You can't tell someone they will be okay before you do something about it. But empathy is something that we can try to share something with them. Hey, this government or this school has a free computer course. I understand that you're looking for something that could help you. I can imagine how difficult it is to come into a new place and not fit in. I'm sorry, but I can be your friend. These are better empathetic ways of this can be for anyone. It doesn't have to be it can be for anybody to say these are the opportunities that are there. Even if you don't know in the information, it's not wrong. You can just try to say things which are empathetic instead of sympathetic. It's very easy to change the language to communicate the same thing. What you're feeling is not wrong. Your feeling is correct. It's just that how you share it is either will make the other person feel empowered, or like, hey, why do they make me a sad story, right?
Yeah.
So I think what we need to put our energy into is motivating others to join us. And the minute we start to see empathizing someone, we put them in the same level as us. You say, I am going to be in your shoes, then you're in the same level. So with that comes a lot of different conversations. Maybe they will say, hey, you know what, I know how to make a bag. Can I make you a bag, and you can pay me less amount, but can you wear it so you will show this to your friend, and maybe she likes it, and maybe she will ask me for another bag. You don't know when you become someone's like equal, when you see it as equal. I think a lot of opportunities open up. So in one sentence, if I have to answer it, I would say switching from being sympathetic to empathetic can help a lot of people be motivated. And yeah, I think motivation is the key factor. And normalizing immigration is important. And yeah, when we travel, we are immigrants in a different place. When we go to a project, we are. And yeah, and it's where someone is born is luck. So I think that kind of helps people to realize normality. And yeah, it should help.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was so useful for me also personally to know about it. Yeah, you explained it in a so simple way. Thank you so much. It was the like, exact answer to this question. Thank you again.
Perfect. So I think we spoke with everybody. Let's see.
We also
Yeah.
have new participants. She just joined us uh, later. Her name is İlker. İlker, do you hear us? If you want to speak, you can introduce yourself. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, so it was fantastic to see everybody today, and I'm expecting an email from Zivar,
Mhm.
and
Thanks
then
very much.
I will talk to Nergis over email, and then you all have my email, so yeah, we can stay in touch. Thank you, Sarah, again for organizing this. It was really, really fun to meet new people with new ideas, and yeah,
Yeah.
I think Ulkar says something.
İlker, can you talk now?
Sorry, I couldn't talk.
No
No
worries.
problem. Are you okay?
Yes, but I need to sit someplace. That's why I couldn't talk.
No problem. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Good, good. Do you want to ask a question or do you want to tell us why you're here or anything like that?
Actually, I have no question because I joined very late because I saw the message very late. That's why I couldn't catch all topic. But I listened to your speech few minutes later, and I understand something. Empathy, motivation is necessary, and I have no question. Thank you for listening.
Perfect. Okay. And please feel free to join us next time. Me and Sarah will be here, and you can always talk to us or write us your question earlier. And then the next coffee session, we can talk about that. And we already have your question, so we can get a head start on that. Yeah.
Yes, I want to join again. What time will I join?
We will announce about the next coffee session in our social media page. I will write the name of our social media page from both Facebook and Instagram. And also we will upload the link of today's coffee session in our social media page. So if you missed some parts of today's coffee sessions, you can also watch this recording. I think you will get a lot of useful ideas and insights from previous parts. And I will write now our social media page. So you will have an opportunity to follow our announcement on those pages. So I just wrote in the chat box so you can see our name of our social media page. Thank you very much to everyone who joined. Thank you very much, dear Sameera. I will be always grateful to you for this amazing idea of conversations because every time I'm also learning a lot of things both from you, both from participants. And I love the spirit, I love this energy of these conversations, and I really understand the importance of quality over the quantity. Thanks again for your,
Thank you so much.
thank you so much for everything, and I wish you to have a great day. I wish you to have everything the best in all ever you do, in all work activities you do, and thanks for everything you do also for our people.
Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye. And thank you for your work, Sarah. It's always
Thank
my
you.
pleasure to be here.
Thank
Bye.
you so much. Bye bye.
Bye.